Alright, this is occult.biz. This site's been shut down. Some say it's back up, but I haven't been able to connect to it. This is where you'll find all the alchemy that you want. If you're capable of understanding it, I don't know. A lot of communication breakdown in this Mercury retrograde doing these charts. Regardless of what I put up, you continue with the emails concerned about your charts. Everybody's chart that requested one is now in the inbox for charts to do. I went through every email, hundreds, to make sure you were pulled out and put back in the list to do charts. New rule. For those who have given donations, I'm moving you to the top of the list. It is only fair. So, those of you, as of right this moment, those of you who've given donations, you can expect your charts in the next few days. And then I will continue with the rest as the order they are currently in, unless you follow that thread and pull it back out. If you give a donation from this point, it will also move you up on the list. That is only fair to the people who are donating. Otherwise, they're still free. For those of you who want books from the occult.biz, I have drives that I have been toting around with me. They're IDE drives. Let me show you. This is an IDE drive, and this is a SATA drive. IDE SATA. Most laptops hook up on SATA. Some of the old desktops use the IDE. When I was on occult.biz, I downloaded everything they had pertaining to alchemy that wasn't junk. A lot of these are old, handwritten manuscripts. Many of them are in French. The ones that are in English are coded. You must know how to read them. So you must know the stars to do that, or you're not going to understand it. But it will give you all of the symbolism, the language necessary to do that. Those of you who have sent me donations, I have ordered the necessary equipment so I can access these IDE drives on my laptop. I just got to put in the little plugs, plug it in, hook it up, and it comes to me in USB. I'm changing an IDE to a USB drive. And I have thousands and thousands of alchemy books. I have everything occult.biz had on alchemy on these drives. And I'll make a list of appropriate material I think you might be able to understand. I'll give the entire list for those that speak French, are just advanced and able to pick up that material more easily. Also, astrology books as well. They will be in PDF form. I will ship them to you via email request. So I'm fixing to dump a bunch of material on you so that you too can have the necessary research material to you can go check out what I'm saying. You can learn for yourself. It's a symbolic language, but alchemy is connected to everything, just like the heavens. There's a zodiac up there. There's a zodiac in you. You have one in you. And it pertains to your natal chart. A lot of what we are given in astrology, to me, is crap. Because we don't have the proper legend. We do not know how to read the map. Alchemy will give you the proper legends to read each map. More questions on the Old Testament. I don't know how to make this any more clear. There's no such thing. It's all fabrication. To go to hell, you must have been born in the sign of Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. Those are the fire signs. Anybody born after World War II, the Battle of the Pacific Theater, the Battle of Water and Sky, you are now considered to be born in the age of air or heaven. The Bible is not a religious book. You can throw away all the dogma. It's meaningless. There are no 10 commandments. There's no big God in the sky that's going to judge you when you die. When you die, you will have a life review and you will judge yourself based on how you feel about how you did here in this school, Astrology 101. Did you complete the task you were set here to do? Did you learn what you came here to learn? Saturn is the great teacher here. He teaches you patience. It is about controlling your emotions. It's about self-discipline. It's about becoming the best that you can be. This is the school of hard knocks. This is one of the toughest life experiences you will ever have. But we truly are moving into a golden age of Saturn. In alchemy, to turn lead to gold is literally exactly that, moving into the golden age. Saturn is lead, the sun is gold. So to turn lead to gold is to turn Saturn to the sun. Please, 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 forget everything your lying fucking preachers, priests, pastors, vicars, whatever told you. They are in error. They know not what they preach. They're going to get a big damn wake-up call when they die and have to review their self. Because most Christians, supposed Christians, can fling more hate than a Muslim with a pack of dynamite strapped to him. All of these religions, all 3, came out of the age of Aries. All of them. It was information that was taken from Egypt and used against a people. They used it against the own population of their people, and it is still being done. Everybody's going to wake up to this. The veil will come down. Everybody in a church, a synagogue, a mosque, gone. The next age will not tolerate it. The only temple on this planet will be an astronomical observatory. We will have our individuality, but things will be communal. Everybody's needs will be met. Everybody's desires can be met under the conditions that you cause no harm. And listen to this one. All things in moderation, as long as you cause no harm. Aleister Crowley lied to you, but he believed his lie. He was channeling Lamb, which is Thalam, and of course he gave you Thelema instead of Thalam or the Lamb. He did not understand what he was channeling, and he misunderstood it, and the Archons will use that against you intentionally. He sought fame and fortune. He received his reward here. He had nothing coming to him, and on his deathbed, he freaked out, as many do. You can forget any law. Going to heaven, this is it. It's heaven or hell. You make your own life. You make your own decisions. We are in a transition period. These unstable, forms of government that we've experienced since coming out of Egypt will all be done away with. They're finished. They no longer serve a purpose to humanity. Only parasites exist in that domain at this time, and their time is up. Everything is truly written in the stars. I don't mind the Bible if you read it like it's supposed to be written. If you can understand when you read a verse, which God is it speaking of? You must know the legend and the language. Today you have people in Christian churches walking around, the blind leading the blind, but they're still in they think they're in the age of grace, but they're worshiping this God of the Old Testament, and they think it's the same God. They do not understand because they have not stood under. You can't force this food down somebody's throat. You have to want it. You have to want it with everything of your being, and it will cost you everything. This is school. It's not a playground. It's kind of a testing ground, but in reality, it is you who are testing yourself. You chose these tests to put you through. And then you whine about it. But when you die, which I have done many times, you will come to understand what this place is all about. It is a school. You have 7 teachers, and they're not your friends, really. They're here to try you and test you, and it's up to you to pass the test. But you do not have a chance of passing that test without one of 2 things: your natal chart and an understanding of it, or you are one determined, strong, sentient being who has come into this world. We are not people having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a carnal experience. As we move into the golden age, you will be able to manifest either your heart's desires or the monsters in the back of your mind. My advice to you: stay in your heart. Get out of your mind. It will drive you crazy. Walk in your heart and you'll be just fine. The doors will open for you. But if you cannot control your emotions, if you get hurt easily and have a tender heart, I feel for you. I used to be that person. As a child, you look at me the wrong way, and I burst into tears. I didn't understand why this place was the way it was. I do now. It's a learning experience because we're growing and we're changing and we are becoming. This is college level crap, but they have got us all back in preschool. We can't even truly read. We've been lied to about the alphabets. We've been lied to about everything. Everything they teach you in school is pretty much worthless. The only information that I took with me out of a primary education was language, the understanding of grammar, and chemistry, biology, the sciences. That helped me in the learning of the alchemy and what all I want to share with you there. Give me a while. I've ordered the equipment. It must arrive, and when it does, I have a stack of drives I have to go through to pull all this information out and make you a list. Google Gmail only allows me so many megabytes per attachment, and I'm going to set it up the best way I can so that you can all have this research material. I've been sitting on it for decades, and it's about time it got shared with the general population again. Occult.biz has been shut down. It's been revamped up. It's been shut down again. It is even no longer a viable. I left Occult.biz because the New Age movement come in, and it was a propaganda psyop. It's not about the New Age. It was total propaganda, which is what you see all around you. What they're telling you is the New Age now is part of the Old Age lie. They are trying to control it, and that's not going to be possible. The veil will come down. Everybody will see the truth about others and about yourself. And that's the most important thing you need to know. Everybody's focused on what all the bad guys are doing, what the powers that be are doing. You need to be worried about you. You let them worry for themselves. They're in a shitload of trouble. The karma that's packed up against them, it's going to take them lifetimes, eons to overcome. You need to overcome your karma here. You need to control your emotions here. Through a lot of this Mercury retrograde and the communication breakdown about all of these charts, a lot of you feelings have been hurt. I'm sorry I have to speak to you the way I do. Understand, I'm talking to you exactly like Saturn would. I have Saturn, the Sun, and Mars in my first house. This is not a game to me. I couldn't be more serious. I don't like wasting my time. And when you come on here and you're not paying attention and you continue to ask the stupid questions, which I'm now ignoring, get out of the dogma. I can't tolerate it anymore. It's not what this is about. If you need to let go of everything if you want to learn anything, because everything we've been taught is a lie, and I do mean everything. Starting with your ABCs and 1, 2, 3, because guess what? There's no such thing as a C. It did not exist. There's no such thing as an X. It does not exist. There's no such thing as a Q. It does not exist. These are all created symbols so that you do not recognize the original symbol, the proper symbol. Languages are scattered all over the place, marked from Jerusalem. Either they write to the left to the right or the right to the left. And it's the same language. The North American Cherokees language is exactly the Egyptian language, reversed. Letter for letter. Phonetical sound for phonetical sound. To pull the sword from the stone, you must pull the words from the tones, and you become the King Arthur of your own story. It's simple, but it's complicated. It's so simple, it's easier for me to teach a baby who don't know nothing than to try to reprogram a bunch of people who are so set in that dogma, so set in, you are so sure you know what that Bible says. You know nothing, Jon Snow. I barely know anything, and I know a lot more than you people do, because I've done my homework. I did what Saturn asked me to do. I've learned to control my emotions. I've learned not to render evil for evil, but render good for evil. But I'm also a stern taskmaster. I'm not going to shortchange you, but I'm not going to babysit you either. If I did, I would be doing you a disservice. It is necessary for me to make you people take off the training wheels and ride that bike to where you can hold your hands up and go, "Look, Ma, no hands." One day, it'll be like walking through the park for you. It will slowly reveal itself to you as you can handle it, as you need it. Everybody on this channel is on a different level. I can't expect you all. Some of you have been with me from the beginning, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't have to explain anything. Others who are just arriving have fallen into Babylon, confusion. You don't know. Be patient. Go back and watch some of the other videos. Do some research on your own. Download Stellarium and look at your own chart, your own cross. It will start to reveal itself to you. Once you pull out the names of the stars and you start looking at those stars in different cultures, traditions, they have different names, which are characteristics of that star. And the truth will open up to you and guide you. So, when I get it in and I make the list, I will post. And I'll give 2 options. I'm going to do 2 because one is going to be for astrology and the other one is going to be for alchemy. Please understand, these are advanced books. You can't email me 1,000 questions. Well, this book and this page says this, and what does that? I don't understand. And I'm sorry, I didn't have anybody to explain to me. You go type it in Google. What does this mean? Wow, Google will actually give you the answer if you know how to do the search or how to refine your searches, because even Google does not make it easy anymore. I actually miss Yahoo. They've shredded it. We had good search engines until this beast came along who's manipulating the whole world. It's sold out for the dinero, and it will pay the price for that, and those who are profiting from that. Alright, I think I've about covered it. I'm going to get back to charts and post videos as I see them necessary to post. Again, please stop sending me emails telling me, "I didn't know about the thread. I think my chart's pulled out." No, it's not. Pay attention one more time. Everybody that requested a chart, your chart is now in the to-do list. I went through the hundreds of emails this morning again and pulled them all back out. It will be the last time I do that. Those who I have received your donations. Today, you go to the top of the list. Everybody else will be done in the order that they now exist in. I will not accept any new ones as of the prior post that I have 300. When I drop back down below 100, I might go ahead and let you add a few more. They are free. I will not charge you for your natal chart. I will not have that karma on me. I will freely give it to you. But those who do donate to this channel something back, and that's the least I can do for them. They're the ones making it possible for me to get this equipment so I can give you this. Alright, everybody, have a great day. Please go bank your karma. Think about your questions and comments to me, understanding Mercury is in retrograde, as is Saturn. That will continue until into September. So, before you respond to something I've said with a smart-ass comment, think about what I'm saying. Check your emotions at the door. We are not in elementary school. We are all adults here. I expect you to act like one. Really, I do. That's exactly what Saturn expects of you. He wants you to do your homework. He wants you to succeed. He wants you to excel to the top of the class. He wants you to graduate and enjoy the golden age in your olden years. But he will not tolerate any more bad karma. There's too much on this planet. The imbalance is throwing things off in other dimensions. There are those beings coming here trying to offset that balance, because ignorance and confusion is more rampant on this little spot in the universe than all other creation combined. And it will swing the other way. But for now, we are all in darkness. All of the churches are the blind leading the blind. If you want to argue dogma, by all means, there are thousands of religions that would be glad to accommodate you. I do not believe in religion or these gods, right? I recognize them for who they are. They are not the creator. Thalem is not the creator, but in the age of Aquarius, all things are put under him. All things are given unto that star. It's like we went from Antares to Regulus to Aldebaran, and this is the final one on the fixed cross. We just went through the mutable cross. This age is about the fixed cross. The next age is about the cardinal cross. And that is actually the superior cross. Those on the fixed cross, like Jesus said, no man takes my life, I lay it down. They have a tendency to be martyrs or victims, as do the mutable signs. The cardinal signs, unfortunately, you can be arrogant. I know I come off as arrogant. I know I do. I know I choose my words that way intentionally. But if you looked in my heart, there's no arrogance in me. I could care less if I ever got credit for any of this. I am not looking for fame and fortune. I'm looking to set this freaking place free from the lies that it is bound under. The answers are in the Bible, if you know how to read it. The answers are in the Quran, if you know how to read it. But the answers are also in Moby Dick, if you know how to read it. But we've not been taught to read. We're a bunch of birds who've been fed a bunch of crap, and we just regurgitate it up. Time for that to end. I'm going to take as many as I can out of here with me. I am not leaving. My war is against ignorance and the lack of knowledge. The lack of understanding. Matter of fact, you can have knowledge all day long. I know a lot of people who have a lot of knowledge about the Bible. But without the understanding of that knowledge, they have no wisdom. And I'll leave on that note. Don't forget, commit that random act of kindness every day. It will change your life more than you know. More than you know. It will change your life more than knowing which cross you are on.